Welcome back to the Demon Slayer Gaming Channel. We're going to be continuing our Final Fantasy XIV Dungeon Guide series today. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Fractal Continuum Hard Mode. For the beginning trash pools, the claw type enemies will have small frontal cone abilities that if you get hit by will stun you. Once the first group is dead, you'll move on to the jump pad to jump to the next area. The Minotaur will have several cone AoEs and circular AoEs that are untelevised, like most of the large slash and swing type units. And the Chimera functions like most Chimera units, doing abilities that you either need to move into him or away from him to avoid, depending on which head is casting the ability. Once you move to the first boss, you'll want to make sure that you're positioning yourself away from the other party members, as all of his attacks are line AoEs through you, so you don't want any of your party members standing behind you. When he reactivates the adds in the fight, they will move to different areas and then target line AoEs around the platform. These will just need to be avoided, and then afterwards they will fire a few shots at you, which should do considerable damage based on how many there are, so you may want to use a tank cooldown. When he targets a random party member with a circular AoE, you just want to move out of this, and it will leave a circular AoE behind it that you need to avoid standing in. When all of the AoEs form a line across from the boss, you'll want to move to the opposite side of whichever direction they are facing, as they will do line AoEs across the entire platform in the direction they are facing. That will give you a vulnerability up debuff if you are hit by it. For the adds going into the second area, there will be many units that will be in each of these groups, so you'll probably want to pop a tank cooldown to reduce some of the damage. If you do not have a white mage stunning them, then they do have a few circular AoEs that you'll need to make sure that you're moving out of to reduce damage being taken also. For the second boss, when he casts a Theroplasm, this is going to be a tank buster ability, which you'll just want to use a tank cooldown on and increase the amount of healing for this one. Citadel Blaster will do a large line AoE that you'll just want to move out of. Primordial Aether will cause him to absorb one of the units around the room that will modify his abilities some. The one that we received marked each of us with fire and water debuffs. People with the water buff will want to get underneath the water AoE. People with the fire one will want to get under the fire AoE. Afterwards, he will cast Mass Aetheroplasm that you'll want to group up to split the damage, followed by a Citadel Buster that you'll want to move out from in front of him. If the fight continues on much longer, he will absorb a second and possibly even the third different type of abilities. So you'll have to respond to these based on which one he absorbs and how many, depending on your party's damage. For the next area, the bio pellets have no abilities to watch out for, but they will just be constantly damaging you, and due to how many there are, it can rack up in damage quite quickly. The Proto Chimera will have several abilities that can be interrupted with your interject ability, so you just keep an eye out for these. The Minotaur will do on the untelevised swing and swipe abilities again. So you'll just want to make sure that you're either moving away from him or moving out from in front of him when he's channeling these. For the final boss, he does share the abilities that most behemoth type units have, along with a few others. He will have an untelevised 360 AoE that is warned by him raising his claw up into the air, so you'll want to back away from him completely. When he gets up on his back haunches, you will want to move in as close as possible to the boss to avoid the AoE that comes afterwards. When he casts Flare Star, he will do a large proximity-based AoE on the platform, along with putting a circular AoE on all party members. So you'll want to move away from the proximity one while also spreading out to avoid the gravity one from overlapping. The proximity-based AoE will leave a lasting damaging AoE that you'll want to avoid standing in. When he casts Forborn Beast, this will give him a damage up buff, and then he will begin casting Demi Ultima, which will do large party-wide damage that will just need to be healed through. When he casts Allegan Flare. Everyone else will want to move away from the tank. The next time he casts Flare Star, there will not be a Gravity AoE on top of it, but he will shortly afterwards cast Allegan Flare, so you'll want to position yourself away from the Flare Star, and then position yourself away from the tank, who will have the next AoE. Once he gets down to the last 25% of his HP, he'll begin casting Demi Ultima again. If he does not die by the time he finishes this cast, then he will kill the entire party with this casting of Demi Ultima. But this should be it for the Fractal Continuum hard mode. I hope this helps everyone out. If it does, please make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you on the next one.